Hey Michael, Jessica from Peterson SEO up here in Chico. Thank you for speaking with me today and accepting this free video. So today I just want to walk you through 3 tips you guys can start applying right away that's really going to help your online presence to help you bring more of those organic jobs every single month. Now, we're going to talk about citations, content, and backlinks. We're going to start with their customer's journey on Google. So, um, on Google, your customers, when they're in an emergency or they need a service, most of the time they don't know who you are. So they're not going to be searching for your business name. They're going to be searching for the keywords for the services that they need in their area. So it's important that your business show up when people search for keywords related to the services in each of the areas that you service. So on Google's first page, there are 3 sections that a business can own positioning in. The very first section you've probably noticed before is your Google ads, and those are both cost per click and local service ads. But really only about 10% of people actually click through those. So the more important sections are down here. So the next section is your Google Business Profile, or the Google Map Pack, you may have heard it called. But it's important that you're one of these top 3 companies, which you are for this specific search. You want to be in the top 3 because 30% of people will skip everything and come straight to the maps. And if you're not one of these 3 for the key term that they're searching, then you're losing all those jobs. Now, there are several factors that go into ranking and maintaining these positions. It is very fluid and continually changing, so you don't want to just set it and forget it. You have to continually be optimizing it every single month. Now, in order to be in the top 3 and maintain positioning, you need something called citations. This is one of the biggest factors, are citations, which are basically like directories. So you're going to list your business name, your address, your phone number, and your website in a bunch of directories throughout all of the websites, all of the internet. And you're going to get a bunch of those in places like Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Better Business Bureau, and even your social media profiles are citations. You need a ton of those. You need way more than your competition. And you need those going out all over the place because they each send different signals to Google telling them about your business, who you are, that you're a legitimate business. And so that helps Google know where to put you when people are searching. So it's really important you do that. All right. And so then the next section here, this is the, oh my gosh, I just went blank. The organic section. This is the organic section. This is the most important section because 60 to 70% of all people searching skip everything and come right to the organics. So if you're not listed here for each of the services and the search terms, you're losing out on tons of work. But how do you get in these positions? That is all based on your website. So your website needs to be properly built and optimized in order to be able to get into that organic section. Google uses crawlers that crawl your website to learn about your business. And so it has to have a ton of content. Google doesn't rank on appearance, it ranks on content. So you have to build your website and the content around your services and around your local keywords. And I hate to ask this, but did ChatGPT build this for you? This looks like it was spit out by a prompt from ChatGPT. And this is actually going to hurt you quite a bit. So, as I said, content is key. You need a lot of content, but it can't just be any content. It can't be generic content. It needs to be content that resonates with your customers, answers their questions, gets them interactive and wanting to call you. It needs to be focused around those local keywords. So that's going to be like Sacramento water damage, Walnut Creek water damage, and the multiple variations of those keywords. And you need 3 exact match repetitions to even be indexed, just so that you can rank. So there is not nearly enough of this content for Google to even really get a good idea of who you are and what you're about. And it's definitely not focused on the keywords. Your homepage should be at least 1,500 words of content around those keywords. You need 150 words for every keyword you're going to target. You must have separate pages for every single service that you offer. Google requires that every page be devoted to that one service, that your written content be about that, and you're using those local keywords. And you also serve very large service area. So you also need separate service area pages for each of these major services. So that way your content and keyword strategy helps you to be found in each of those areas that you serve. If we look at your top competitor for the Walnut Creek, it's Rainbow Restoration. Yes, they are a franchise, but franchises are very beatable. Because you're not competing against the entire franchise, just the location, and they usually only serve a handful of zip codes. So you have a much wider area. So by just doing better than they're doing, you can beat them, because these guys, franchises kind of tie their hands. Franchisees can't generally edit this and do what they need to do to be able to target their customers. And so you guys have that advantage. So you just need to have better content, do better. If we look at how your website is performing online, this tool gives us that. So you guys have a rating of a 2.9 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, meaning Google doesn't trust your website, which partially has to do with how the website is built, but more so the power you're sending your website. As with anything else, like your tools, they need power to work. Your website needs power to be able to be promoted and for Google to trust it enough to send customers to you. So in order to power up your website, you need backlinks. You need a lot of backlinks. Backlinks are not created equal, though. You can't just get any random backlink. You don't want junky, spammy backlinks. Those hurt you. With this many backlinks, this tells us you have a lot of junky, spammy backlinks that are hurting you. You have to only go after those do follow backlinks that are related to the services that you offer. None of the spammy junk. Now, a referring domain is any website that provides your website with a link from their site to your site. And the backlink is that physical link. So if you think of your favorite power tool, in order to work, you're going to plug it into a power source. That's your referring domain. And that power source is sending power through that cord, which is your backlinks, to your tool so that you can use it. And it's the same thing for your website. Same concept. It has to have good quality power, good quality backlinks, and it needs to be continuously powering your site. Despite the lack of content and structure, you have actually been indexed for 127 keywords, and you are actually getting 99 people to your site, but you also have a massive service area. So you're still missing out on tons and tons of customers. Looking at your keywords, you do actually have um, several keywords that are on the first page, mostly for mold related in San Francisco, which is good. That's great. But you have all those other service areas. You've got all those water damage, water restoration, all those type of keywords that you're missing that has tons of volume. So you're missing out on a ton of customers. If we look at Rainbow Restore, we don't care how their website performs. We're not competing against everybody, just this location. This location has a rating of a 6 with 250 backlinks. That's a whole lot of backlinks for this score, so they have a lot of spam going on. But the power of their website is so powerful that it's able to help them with indexing and ranking. However, they've only been indexed for 8 keywords and they're only getting 8 people, so they're getting less people to their site. Now, it is a micro version of your service area, and really, it's just that specific keyword that they're ranking higher on. Um, they only got 8 keywords, so they only got a couple that are even on the first page. So it's just that one term. So you just need to work on your content and keyword strategy for your website, and then of course your citations and getting those good quality backlinks. Now, if you follow all 3 tips that I have provided you today, your website has huge potential to do well in each of the areas that you serve and start actually bringing you real jobs every single month. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you need help implementing any of these tips, also reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.